Have a couple of items today. Let me mention a couple of things, and then we'll turn the time to Constance Sanchez, who will deliver the performance report, city performance report for the finance department. We recently received a recognition in the city from a competition. It's the Mayor's Challenge for Water Conservation. This is an activity that's sponsored by the Wyland Foundation and the Toyota Corporation. It has support from the United States Environmental Protection Agency as well as the National League of Cities. And there have been more than 100 cities that have participated in this competition. In the competition, various cities, the individuals in cities were asked to make pledges for conservation efforts. In Corpus Christi, as part of that competition, residents pledged to reduce water waste by 45 million gallons, to reduce waste sent to landfills by 1.1 million pounds, to eliminate more than 5,800 pounds of hazardous waste from entering the local watersheds, and to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 154 million pounds. Those commitments won us first place out of those 100 cities, and a significant recognition amongst our peers throughout the United States. As part of the effort as well, they gave away a car to participating citizens by a drawing, and one of our Corpus Christi residents won a new automobile. So I just think it's important to mention that our people in this community are very active and very interested in conservation efforts and actually doing something about it. And in a way that we're going to be getting a report to you pretty soon on the litter improvement efforts that we're making, and I think this dovetails very, very well with those kinds of efforts. Constance, are you ready? All right.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Constance Sanchez. I'm the Director of Financial Services, and I'm here today to share with you the city's performance report, or CPR, for the finance department. And before I begin, I just wanted to take a minute to thank Steve Klepper and Robert Jones from MIS and Rick DeLeon from the Public Information Office for all their help in helping me get prepared today for today's presentation. Okay, on your screen, as you can see, is the city performance report. And as you know, it's divided into 3 sections. The operational profile is here to the right. We have the baseline information to the left, and then the main table, which shows our mission elements, our goals, our measures, and the results for each of the fiscal years, is in the middle of the page. The finance department is rather unique in that our 8 divisions are funded by 3 different funding sources: the general fund, the stores fund, and the utilities funds. And as you can see in the operational profile, we've got 8 divisions in the finance department. We have accounting, accounts payable, accounts receivable, grants, payroll, procurement, treasury, and the utility business office, which we call UBO. We previously also had the utility field operations, which we called UFO, and the Office of Management and Budget. But in 2012, they were each separated. UFO went to the utilities, and then the Office of Management and Budget is a standalone department at this time. If you look at the baseline information to the left, you can see where the transition occurred. In fiscal year 10-11, we had 125 employees, and then in 11 and 12, it went down to 92 employees. It should also be noted that during this same time, we consolidated the payroll function in finance, and so we gained 7 employees who were previously working in other departments. They came to the finance department. And also during that time, over the last about 3 budget years, we have experienced some budget cuts, and so we have lost 9 positions throughout the whole department. I'd also like to point out in the baseline information box that the city has maintained its good bond rating, our general obligation bond rating, and a revenue bond rating, even through the fiscal crisis that the United States has been going through. We also have continued to receive the Government Finance Officers Association's Certificate of Excellence for Financial Reporting for our annual financial report, which I have here, our CAFR. We're very proud of it. And we have that award in the front of the book. And we've received this for over almost 30 years now. Okay, moving down to the main section of the report. The mission for the finance department is to support city departments in meeting their finance, accounting, and procurement requirements, and to support the organization in maintaining the fiscal integrity of the city. To that end, we've listed each of our mission elements to the left with a goal, a measure, and then our actuals. Our first mission element relates to maintaining financial records for receipts, disbursements, and inventories. One of our goals related to this mission element is to timely pay our vendors. We thought it was important to track this since paying vendors timely had been a problem for us in the past. We've been working with all of the departments throughout the city to ensure that they send us their invoices on a timely basis so that we can input them into the software system and pay our vendors. And as you can see from the target, we have improved and we are continuing to pay our vendors timely. Our second mission element relates to producing financial reports. Our measures, just keep in mind, are a work in progress. Some of these don't have targets because we're still evaluating what an appropriate target should be. But for this mission, we're tracking the number of days that it's taking us to close out our accounting period after month end. We have a target of 2 weeks or 20 business days, but as I said, we're in the process of refining this, so we haven't actually listed that yet because we want to make sure that that's the appropriate target. But if you look at the actuals to date, and if you click on this little chart button, you can see. Let's see if I can do it. There we go. We have improved from a year ago, so it's coming down. Alrighty, our third mission element relates to utility billing. And as you all know, we initiated a new collection initiative back in September of 2013 with hopes of reducing delinquencies. We've established 3 measures to help us track how we're doing in this effort. The first is the percentage of utility receivables that are greater than 60 days old. So these are accounts that are eligible for disconnection. And I'm going to click on this chart as well so you can see that the percentage has been going down considerably. So we are working on that effort to help increase revenue for the city. Okay, let's see. The second measure, let's see, hold on one second. Okay, this next measure, again, is we're still in progress with this because as you can see, the percentage on this is over 100%. What we are measuring is the monthly collection rate. And so the percentage that we're using is the current month's bills as a percentage of the amount of revenue we're collecting that month. So we are including both current receivables and delinquent amounts. So that amount is over 100%, but we're refining that as well to figure out what would be a better measure. But I'm going to click on this one as well because it does show that our collections have gone up considerably, both delinquent and current collections for the city. And then our final measure for our utility billing shows us the delinquency rate for the month. And these are 30 days old. Before we talked about 60 days old. So these are not eligible for disconnection. These are just slow pays, I guess. They don't pay their bills on the 30th day, and so they are assessed late fees. But these customers usually pay before they get to the 60 days before they're eligible for disconnection. Okay, the next section we're going to look at is our mission element regarding administering a centralized treasury for debt, cash, and investment management. A very pertinent measure for this mission element is the timely reconciliation of the city's bank accounts. We currently have 18 bank accounts, but the one that has the most activity is the city's combined operating account because most all of the departmental activities flow through this bank account. So there are hundreds, if not thousands, of ins and outs in this account per month. And it's a monumental task to reconcile the combined operating account. But luckily, we've got one accountant who is dedicated to doing this. And even though all of the accounts are reconciled each month, the reconciling items are not necessarily cleared. And this was noted in one of the internal audit reports that was recently issued, and this is a high priority for us to address. So we've taken steps internally to address how we're going to handle the recording of all of these items each month. And so by tracking how many outstanding items we have here on the CPR, we're hoping that this will help us keep an eye on the situation and make sure that we are making progress in the right direction. And then the final mission element that we have deals with the administration of a centralized purchasing and procurement system. But the city of Corpus Christi currently has a hybrid system, whereas the departments are allowed to make purchases up to a certain amount themselves, and then the higher dollar purchases come through the purchasing department. And so for those items that purchasing is responsible for, we want to make sure that we're meeting the needs of our customers, which in this case would be the other city departments. Because of this, we've just begun to track this. So each month we are tracking the number of proposals requested by the departments versus the ones that are issued, not yet issued. And so again, this one is still in progress. We've just begun tracking this. And so as we gather more data, the chart on this one will have additional information on it. And I just want to thank y'all very much for your time today. And I just want to brag a little. I'm very proud of our finance department. We have a lot of hardworking folks in our department, and we're doing the very best we can with the resources that we have. And we're using the CPR report as a tool to help us improve so that we can become the best city in Texas. And so that concludes my presentation, and I'll be happy to answer any questions y'all might have.
Thank you, Constance. Great job.
Thank you.
Councilman McGill.
Thank you. Great report. One quick question. When I look at this, and this is more of a general type of question, but when we're looking at our general obligation bond rating, what are ways that we can work on improving that rating, or what are some of the things that hold us back from having a higher rating?
That's a very good question, and we have been discussing that with our rating agencies. There's like the economic diversity of the city is one big factor. And so I'm hopeful that with the development that's occurring here in the city, that will be a positive for the rating agencies, that hopefully that our ratings will be increased.
Okay.
It's not a guarantee, but
Right. Are there other factors? Like I think we have a cap on
that is a big factor as well, yes, but that's a charter restriction, and they do see that, the rating agencies do see that as a negative.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Thank you.
All right. Thank y'all.
Anything else, Ron?
No, sir, I don't have anything else today.
Thank you so much.